A warm welcome to me and Monica's Boutique. Today I'm going to show you a project where I combine two of my IOD favorites. This beautiful paint inlay Indigo Floral and the stamp Barnwood Planks on the same project. I start with the Barnwood Plank stamp on a painted surface. For this project in light colors. I want a smooth finish for the paint inlays, so I gave the barnwood surface a light sanding, and now I make sure there is no dust left. I have planned my layout. Now I'm placing the paint inlay sheets on the surface design side down. The back side facing up got grid lines helping me placing the sheets correctly next to each other. The design side goes towards the surface and the paint will be activated to wet paint or lacquer on the project. For this project, combining stamps and paint inlays, I'm using lacquer because I want a clear coat for my favorite, the Barnwood Plank stamp. Before I start working with the lacquer, I make sure I got the tools I need. I got my bottle of water with a fine mist, a sponge, and I also got my IOD roller out. I got one sheet applied. Time for the next one. I work with a short brush for better control. I have to be very careful next to the paint inlay sheet already applied. Paint and lacquer dries fast, so I have to work fast and make sure the whole section for this sheet is covered. I already got the other half of the table finished. That's why I'm extra careful close to the center line. Kind of hovering the sheet above the surface, controlling the grid lines. Then I let it down towards the surface. I use my hands to smooth it out and then I use a dampened sponge. Water on the back side of the sheets activates the paint on the paint inlays. It is very important to go over the whole sheet with water and the sponge to make sure it gets good contact with the lacquer on the surface. For the best result, I also use the IOD roller. Okay, I got all my sheets down and I'm happy with the design. Now it's time to do nothing. It's really important to wait until it's totally dry. Don't be curious and don't start lifting to reveal your result. I have done that and it's not good. It needs a drying time. So now I'm going to leave this overnight. And when I be back tomorrow, we're going to do the next very exciting step. Okay, I'm back. On this project, I did let the paint inlay sheets dry overnight, but drying times vary a lot depending on the conditions in the room. The surface must be completely dry. Then I take out my bottle of water again to reactivate the paint and make the paper lift. So I'm going to start by pulling back the paper, and I'm going to do the same procedure again, that I'm going to start to wet the paper to make it lift. And then I'm going to lift carefully and slowly. So I start making it humid again. And it turns dark again. I take one sheet at a time. And I have to be careful here because I already got the pattern on the other half of the table. Okay, I got my sponge. Make sure again I get the water evenly over the paper. And I have to be careful with the sponge so I don't rip the paper. Then I go over with the roller. Make sure it got good contact again when the paint is getting activated again. And as this is not a very big project, I'm going to go over all the papers with water so I don't accidentally get the paint wet after I lifted the first sheet. So I'm gonna go over this one too. I got one sheet off and it's time for the next one. This is so exciting to reveal this beautiful indigo floral pattern. I love this paint inlay. Now the paint is open and active and it needs to dry overnight. Then I seal with a water-based spray lacquer. Kontakta monicasbutik.se för alla tips och råd om IOD-produkter. Varmt välkommen!